Welcome to all. Our today's topic is the linear Diophantine equation. As we know that linear means in the variable x or y the power is 1. Okay. So as we have know that the linear equation in a two variable is given by ax plus by is equals to c. Now this ax plus by equals to c where x and y are variables and a, b and c are integers. Now to solve this equation, that is the solution for x and y, we require this x and y to be a non-negative integers. So to solve this equation, this equation is called as the equation of this form is called as the linear Diophantine equation, where a, b and c are integers. Now to solve this equation, for example, this equation can be stated in the application form as if there is a man who want to buy the mangoes and apples and of rupees 110. Okay, that is man is buying apples and mangoes and of rupees 110. Want to buy apple and mangoes of rupees 110, and apples cost is rupees 10 each. Each apple has a cost rupees 10, and mangoes cost is rupees 6 each. Okay, and he want to buy this. So the question is how many apples and mangoes the man can buy of rupees 110. Okay, so we take he buys x apples and y mangoes. So we can form the equation from this given information as that he buy the x apple each cost rupees 10 plus 6 apples each cost rupees y apples each cost rupees 6, and both, that is total he wants to buy is of rupees 110. Okay, so this is an equation which can be formed using the given information, and we can solve this equation because x and y are the number of apples and number of mangoes, so they cannot be 1 and half, that is it cannot be a fraction form and it cannot be negative. Okay, so x and y require to be, x and y will be positive, or we can say non-negative integers, right? So this equation will be in the form which is called as a linear Diophantine equation, will be of this form. And thus to solve this equation, that is to find the solution of this equation, we have the method to solve this equation as here. In the form of theorem, we see the method to solve the Diophantine equation. So a linear equation, we state the theorem as a linear Diophantine equation ax plus by equal to c. That is, this equation has solution if and only if d divides c. What the d is nothing but the GCD of a comma b. That is, the given Diophantine equation has a solution if d is equals to a comma b. That is, GCD of d is equals to a comma b. And now moreover, as that is what this equation has a solution if the GCD of a comma b divide this c. Okay, and if it has a solution, then d divides c. Also we have to show that moreover, if x equal to x0 comma y is equals to y0 is any particular solution of the equation then all solutions are given by, that is, if we have the particular solution x equals to x0 and y equals to y0, then all solutions are given by in the form x equals to x0 plus b upon d, comma, into n, comma, y is equals to y0 minus a upon d into n. That is, what is we have, if we have the solution of this equation will be x equals to x0 and y equals to y0, then all solutions are given by in the form x equals to x0 plus b upon d into n. That is, the form of the solution will be, we have to show that the form of the solution is x equals to x0 plus b upon d. That is, we divide this b by the GCD into n, and y is equals to this particular solution y0 minus a upon d into n. So what we have the many solution for this equation, where what is n? N is integer which is varying over. Okay, now what we have to prove here, that the theorem is saying that a linear Diophantine equation has a solution if and only if d divides c. So if and only if is part there. So we have the two parts. In a part 1, we suppose that it has a solution and we show that d divides c. And in the second part, we suppose that d, that is GCD of a comma b dividing c, and we show that that is this equation ax plus by equal to c has a solution. Okay, so we start with the part 1. Part 1. We consider firstly the Diophantine equation. Consider ax plus by equal to c is given Diophantine equation, and we give this as a equation number 1. And let x and y, so in a part 1 we suppose that it has a solution, so we let x and y be the solution of this equation, therefore it satisfies the equation number 1. Be the integers satisfying equation 1. Okay, so this satisfies the equation number 1. Now we assume that, what we have to show that here, to show that GCD of a comma b divides GCD of a comma b divides c. Okay, so suppose that, assume that GCD of a comma b is equals to d. What we have assumed, GCD of a comma b is equal to d. Therefore we have to show that, what we have to show that d divides c. Okay, as d is the GCD of a comma b, what this implies, d divides a and d divides b. Okay, by the definition of the GCD, we have d divides a and d divides b. Now this implies d divides ax plus by by the property of divisibility. That is, if a comma b, if d divides a and d divides b, then d divides the linear combination of a and b. So here d divides ax plus by. This implies that d divides c. Okay, since ax plus by equal to c, that is here from this equation 1 by 1. Okay, so ax plus by equal to c. Thus if the given equation 1 has solution, then d divides c. Okay, where what is d? D is the GCD of a comma b. Now we prove the part 2, that is converse part. in conversely we suppose that D is the GCD of A comma B and D is divide C. And what we have to show that? We have to show that this equation ax plus by equal to c has a solution. Okay, so conversely suppose that D divides C, where what is D? Where D is nothing but GCD of A comma B. We have to show that equation 1 has solution. Okay, now since D is the GCD of A comma B, and therefore by the property of the GCD of A comma B, we can express A and B, that is we can express the GCD in the form of linear combination of A and B. Therefore D can be written as AS plus B into T. So where S and T are, that is by the theorem we can write D as the AS plus BT, where S and T are integers. S comma T are integers. Okay, now D is equals to AS plus BT, we give this as equation number 2. Also, as given that D is dividing C, also given that D divides C, therefore this implies C can be written as D into some integer E. Okay, that is C can be written in the multiplication of D, where E is some integer. So we write for some E belongs to Z, that is E is some integer. Therefore we can multiply this equation 2 by E. So multiplying by E, we get E into D is equals to A S into E plus T into E. Okay, so we multiply this by E, equation 2 by E, and we substitute the value of D into E as a C in equation 2. So we get here multiplying equation 2 by E. So we get that D into E is equals to A S into E plus B T into E. Now this D into E is nothing but our C. A, we take this S into E as a x0 plus B T into E as a y0, where x0 is equals to S into E and y0 is equals to T into E. Okay, and we give this as a equation number 3rd. Now therefore we show that this equation 1, that is Diophantine equation, has a solution x0 and y0. This x0 and y0 satisfying this equation, and therefore x0 and y0 are the solution of equation 1 because it's satisfying this equation 1. Okay, now we show that what we have to show. Now as here if x0 and y equals to y0 is the particular solution, then we have to show that all solution will be of this form. Okay, so firstly we show that this x0 plus b upon d into n and y equals to y0 minus a upon d n is the solution of this equation. Okay, so we define this x and y and we substitute this value in this equation so that we verify whether it satisfies this equation. Okay, so let's see. So we assume that x equals to x0 plus b upon d into n, comma y equals to y0 minus a upon d into n. We give this as a 3 is completed equation 4, where n is any integer. Therefore we can write ax plus by equal to, now x is equals to x0 plus b upon d into n plus b, y is equals to y0 minus a upon d into n. Now this, if we open the bracket, so a into b upon d into n plus b in, that is opening the bracket, we have ax0 plus ab upon d into n plus by0 minus ba upon d into n. So this term get cancelled. We have ax0 plus by0. This is equals to c from equation 3. Now since by this equation we have this is equals to c, and therefore ax plus by equal to c. Okay, that is equation 4. Equation 4 gives a solution because it's satisfying. Equation 4 is satisfying the Diophantine equation. Therefore equation 4 gives a solution to the equation 1. Right? Now here we vary n is an integer, therefore we can vary n. Okay, and since we can vary n, therefore we get infinitely many solutions. Right? Now we have to show that every solution of the equation, that is ax plus by equal to c, will be of this form. Now to show that every solution will be of this form, we suppose that let x and y be integers. We show that the form of x and y will be of this type only. Okay, so for this we take x and y be any integers satisfying equation 1. Equation 1. Therefore equation 1 and equation 3 implies equation 1 will be, because we can substitute the value of c as ax plus by. So ax plus by is equals to ax0 plus by0. Now taking this a to this side, so it is ax minus ax0, and this is by0 minus y by. Okay, so this have a in bracket x minus x0 equal to b in bracket y0 minus y. Now a will be in the multiple of b and y0 minus y. Okay, so what will be, we can divide this by d, because d, since d is the GCD of a comma b, so dividing by d we get a upon d x minus x0 is equals to b upon d y0 minus y. We give this as equation number 5, and since a comma b, that is GCD of a comma b is equals to d, implies that the GCD of a upon d comma b upon d, that is if the GCD of a comma b equal to d, then if we divide this a by d and b by d, then the GCD of that numbers will be equals to 1. We have this property of the GCD, right? Now from this property, what we can say that a upon d and b upon d are relatively prime. Okay, so these numbers a upon d, b upon d are relatively prime. So as here from this equation, a upon d into something equals to b upon d into some integer. So when a upon d and b upon d are relatively prime, so when a upon d is divide this number, then it does not divide b upon d, because a upon d and b upon d are relatively prime. So a upon d divides this number y0 minus y, right? So what we say from this relatively prime definition, that a upon d divides y0 minus y, because it cannot divide b upon d, so it must divide y0 minus y. Okay, so from this we can write y0 minus y is equals to a upon d into n. By the property of divisibility, if a divides b, then b is equals to c into a, right? That is for some integer c, we can write this b as multiple of a. Okay, so we apply here that this is into n, where n is integer. Therefore this implies y is equals to, we can take this a to y to this side and this to this side, so y0 minus a upon d into n. So we get that y, that is the solution of the equation 1, will be of this form. Now we substitute the value of y0 minus y equals to a upon d into n in this equation 5. Therefore we get, therefore substituting value of y0 minus y in equation we can substitute here also. Okay, we give this as equation number 5 and we substitute this value in equation 5. Okay, so a upon d into x minus x0 y0 minus v so b upon d into y0 minus y is nothing but a upon d into n. So this a upon d get cancelled. We have x minus x0 equals to b upon d into n. So x is equals to x0 plus b upon d into n. Okay, so we get that any integer x comma y satisfying equation 1 will give the solution x equals to x0 plus b upon d into n and y equals to y0 minus a upon d n, where n is any integer. Therefore every solution of equation 1, that is Diophantine equation, will be of this form, where x0 and y0 be any particular solution, and this x0 and y0 will be defined from the by expressing the GCD in the form of a and b, in the linear combination of a and b. From this we can find the particular solution x0 and y0. Okay, so here we have completed our proof that the given Diophantine equation has a solution if D, that is GCD of a comma b, divides c, and the solution will be of this form. Okay, so thank you everyone.